Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sylvia and my channel's all about art and craft. Now this is part 4, I believe, of my transformation of my office desk, which is actually my craft desk. And I've started doing the shelving side of things, where I want to have everything organised on my desk, and I'm going to show you how I came across these measurements, because I don't measure generally. I don't use plans either. So this is the section where all my distress inks are going to sit on, and basically for me to work out how wide I needed it, and where to put my little marks where I've got to cut in, all I did, I grabbed 5 of my distress oxide and I put them down just like that. Okay, and I wanted to make sure that there was plenty of room on either side. So I've spaced them out nicely, and that's when I went, okay, if I come up to here, that's wide enough, and then I put my slots in between. And the same with the depth, I've made sure that there was a little bit of wiggle room, because all these edges, they're actually going to sit inside, like the back piece or the side pieces that I'm going to be cutting, which is out of a 16 millimeter thick MDF board. So I'm going to take out a little chunk so that it can sit in there. So I had to make sure I had plenty of room. Now, I also wanted to have like a little cutout here so that I can just sort of, like if it's sort of sitting there, I can sort of just grab it from underneath and pull it out. Make life easier. And what I've actually done is I grabbed one of my dies, and all I did, and this is where it came in handy, because it was the center bit of the circle. That's where they where you got these little notches where they were, secured together, and I was using them to just line it up with that line there, put it down, and then just drew on the inside my little half circle. So I've done all that. Now, one thing I ended up realizing while I was doing this, and it wasn't till I started doing the vertical section where I ended up realizing, oh no, you did a boo-boo, because I wanted to have room for, I think it was 70 or 80, hang on, 10, 20, 30, 40, 80, okay, for 80 ink pads, because we know Tim Holes, he keeps coming out with more new colours. So I thought, well, if I do 80, it'll give me, the extra space when I need it. So, but what I've done is I actually made 80 of these, which I shouldn't have, because I'm actually going to use a 16 millimeter thick MDF board at the bottom. So that's where the first one would end up sitting. So I sort of went, you silly girl. That's okay. I like to take my time with this to make sure that I don't make any big mistakes, so I don't waste anything. Okay. Now, if I'm going to take you, I'll take you off my little stand, and I'll take you for a little walk. I have to unplug my cord. It's not going to come with me. It's okay. Let's just hold on to the camera, unplug it. Battery's reasonably full, so we're not going to run out, which is good. So I'm going to take you over here. Now, these 4 pieces are my verticals, okay? And you might not, hang on, I'll see if I can, there you go, you'll be able to see it now. Now you've got from there to there, and that is the length, or the depth of this bit here, okay? So that, and the reason I've got a line in the center here is because I need to make sure that, because this is my cutting line where I'm going to cut in so that this bit can wedge into here. So I needed to make sure that it was only going to go halfway all the way, so it had to be straight. So I've got that line there, which indicates that's where I've got to stop with the cutting. Okay, and hopefully I didn't muddle it up. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Good. It's been one of those things where, yeah, it was doing my head in a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, the last time I did woodworking was when I was at school, so that's many, many moons ago. So, all good. We'll get it done. But yeah, and basically, yeah, all you got to do is just find a halfway mark, because you want to do it halfway. I still got to do the same to these ones, but I've just left it for the minute, because you need the slot halfway on this one as well. So I've still got to sort that out. But once I've done all that, it's pretty much ready to be cut out. Now I've actually left like gaps in between each piece, as you can see, because there's 2 smaller pieces there. And that is because I want to make sure that when I'm cutting, that I'll actually cut in between, because I don't want to lose anything from this side. So I want to make sure that I'm more on the other side. So I think I left about a 5mm gap or so. I mean, some areas it's a bit bigger, but that's okay. And quite frankly, the way I'm actually planning this out, I'm not going to have a huge amount of wastage, okay? Because the rest that's got nothing on it yet, that's going to be for the section that actually goes on top of all of this, where I'm going to have my all my big tools in it, like my oh boy, yeah, my scoring board. There we go. I found the word, you know, and things like my stamping positioner, and basically, you know, all of these as well, like my cutting tool and my die cutting machine plates. That's basically going to sit sort of above the distress inks. Now, the other thing I've done, hopefully you'll be able to see it properly. Originally I was going to go further in. This board is 450 millimeters wide, but then I ended up thinking, hang on a minute, no, it'll be fine. I'll go 450 millimeters wide, because it'll give it a little bit more strength. So I've got this whole piece here, okay, that measures 930 in height, and I've got the same over there, and this piece here, let me see, like basically from this line to that line, this board is enough where my all my big tools can stand up on. So I'm not going to waste anything out of this board, which is awesome. The next one underneath, that's going to do the actual top part, and this one here is going to cut another 930 millimeters by 450 millimeters to make another upright. I will have to get some more boards, but yeah, I'm basically going to try and do it so that I'm not really going to waste much of the material. So, and yeah, that kind of requires my brain working 100%. So, and here is the desk sitting back together. It's not secure together because the desk is actually going to move back further, but I just put it there for the minute so that if I want to do a bit of card making it in the meantime, I can, while I'm still working on this. So what I'm going to do is I'll cut all these pieces out. I won't do it on camera because there's going to be so much dust floating around and it's going to dirty the lens, and the video quality is going to be pretty bad then. So I want to make sure we don't have that kind of issue. So what I'm going to do is I'll get it all cut out, and then we're going to start sort of like putting the bits and pieces together. And again, when I say putting things back together, I actually got to work out on the 16 millimeter thick MDF. I've got to work out where I've got to score some lines into it where these will sit into, so that I can put them in there and, you know, make sure everything works out Mickey Mouse. So a lot of work to do, but all good. It's coming together. And yeah, the rest of this, I'm going to use this for the uprights for my scoring tools, etc., to sit in. So you're going to have like little slots, so nothing can really sort of like fall right over, sort of thing. I want it all standing up nicely. So okay, so as soon as I've got this all cut, I will be back and then I'll take you through the next step. Okay, so I didn't want to do the video while I was doing a lot of cutting and things, because I didn't really want the camera to get too dirty. It probably still will, but hopefully it's not. Now, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so that you can see. Now, this is the piece where the ink pads are going to sit on top. And if you remember, I put a little half moon there. And I was going to show you how I get them out quite easily. Now, I don't have all the U-Butte tools that most have, so I'll work with what I have. Now, I've got a cheap version of a Dremel, and that's exactly what I'm using in order to put these half moons in, and it works pretty quick. These notches are the ones so that the vertical can go in between, so that they're all nice and secure. So I've done all that. So all those pieces are ready, but I just wanted to show you how quick and easy I can do this without it being too difficult. So let me put this back where I put it, which is my little vise, which my husband actually donated to me. See, you work with what you got, even when the husband decides to donate things to you, which is kind of cool because it does help me out because I can do more that way. So let me just zoom back in just so that you can hopefully see what I'm doing. Now, I've got my Dremel hanging up because I've got the long attachment, and that's what I'm going to be using. Now, I have a little sanding piece on here. Okay, and basically I'm just going to sand it all down. So let's go get to it. And we're done. Look at that. Every single notch is in there. Yes, they're not perfect, but you know what? It's still pretty cool. So I will show you having put it all together. So just give me a second and I'll show you straight away. And there it is. Now, this is majority of it. And here's the piece that's going to go on the bottom. So I'm going to have my first ink pad right there. Okay. Now, because this is 16 millimeters wide, yes, I still used my Dremel, but what I actually did, and again, sometimes you just got to think outside the box, look at what you've got, and figure out a way. And what I actually did was I grabbed my cordless drill, I grabbed a good sized drill bit, and I'll show you which one I grabbed. Oops, sorry. So it was this one here, and this one is an 8.5, right? And all I did was I drilled. So I ended up having that a partial hollow in there already, right? And then just used the Dremel after that to get rid of the rest. So it, again, not perfect, but you know what? Not bad. That's how I look at it. So the next thing I've got to do is cut my little slots into the side pieces and into my top piece. Now my top piece, I'll show you, is actually going to be far bigger than what this is. And this is the board that I'm going to be using. Okay, reason I'm going to use this board is because this is the bottom of where all my other things are going to sit in, like my stamping positioner, my scoring board, all those sort of things. They're actually going to end up sitting on the top. So I'm going to have to make some grooves in here as well for the top, because I'm going to have little dividers in there. So that will be the next step. But what I'm going to do is I'll finish this video off right here, right now. so I can put it up for you guys to see the next progress that I've made. I think not bad for somebody who hasn't been doing woodworking for the last 37 years, so being the first time ever since, so I pat myself on the back for that one. Yes, it's taken me a bit of time because I have to really think about what I need to do and how I'm going to go about it, especially since I don't have all the tools that are required as well. So it makes it a little bit more challenging, but all I can say to you is it doesn't make it impossible. You will always find a way around things. And this is where I'm encouraging you guys to, you know, create something for yourself. You know, don't go out just buying everything from IKEA or whatever and then sort of go, yeah, it looks pretty, but it's not really working because you haven't got everything right there at your desk. So that's what I'm trying to show you. Yes, you can modify a desk by being creative, doing it yourself, and you probably end up finding that you get far better use out of it, and it ended up not costing you as much as what it would have if you would have gone out to purchase them already made. So I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel and you want to see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified when the next video goes up. Until then, I'll catch you guys later. Bye for now.